Dreams do not have a filter that your normal, polite, waking self puts up.
Welcome to the hidden meaning of dreams with Sweet Georgia Pam.
It does matter what the dreamer themselves associates with those things that come up in the dream.
Spiritual director, dream expert, author, and educator, Sweet Georgia Pam is here to remind us that dreams are the answer. They're always with you. They know you better than you know yourself, and they're always trying to tell you the truth.
There's some back and forth here between you and some awareness.
And now your host, Melissa Carter.
SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website where you find all about Sweet Georgia Pam. If you are listening and you need to find where we are on YouTube, you can go to SweetGeorgiaPam.com. She has the links both to the podcast as well as the YouTube videos. You can find a free guide there, 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall, if you are having a hard time remembering your dreams. And so this is part 2 of a series that we're doing with our first listener who has come on, brave Jennifer Baldwin, who has come on to talk about her recurring dream that's in black and white, even though all her other dreams are in color. She's in Spain. She's at a bus or train station, cobbled streets, and her luggage spills out on the street, and she observes how everybody else doesn't help her in trying to get everything back in her luggage. So now we get more of what Pam's interpretation of the dream is.
Okay, so to speed this up, because we have when we do sessions, it's like an hour session, and we really get in and dig all of these things up and really nail down the details, right? But just to project where we already seem to be on the track of interpreting this dream, with a recurring dream, it happens to come up when you experience a certain type of emotion. Mm-hmm. That is an emotional pattern in your waking life. So for the past 10 years or so, this particular type of distraught might surface again 5 or 6 times over the last 10 years. So it might be worth some time, if this were my dream, to look back over the 10 years, see if I can pinpoint when the dreams were happening and what was going on in my life around those times. Right. And look for that particular felt experience of, I've got surprise in there. I've got overwhelm, like there's too much. And then I've got this sense of I need some help. Maybe in those times, there's an invitation to ask for help, right? If you can connect it to waking life somehow.
Right.
And the second part of that is that since you have a sense that this is related to your heritage, or you have a sense that this is related to your Spanish heritage, there might be something in the real world that you can integrate or incorporate to address that issue that came up in the dreams. The easiest example is to go to a market and find something from Spain that you could purchase, that you could have in your house as a visual reminder of, oh, right, I've got my ancestors with me, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Knowing that this is a fast forward process, I want to kind of see where any of that landed for you, if you could help us understand where you are right now with that.
So I do feel like you're pretty on the money there, probably. And while you were talking, I was thinking, oh, and it's probably black and white because I don't know that part of my heritage. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who it came from. I mean, I have a suspicion it's on my dad's side, but I feel like I don't know that side well, and I don't know who that specific person was that was of Spanish or Portuguese descent. And so maybe that's why it's black and white. I know most of my heritage anyway.
Yeah.
But the clothes, I think, represent something very overwhelming to me, maybe. And digging into that is probably something that at that time I felt was overwhelming. I haven't had this dream in a few years, but I've had at least 5 or 6 times. And also, as you were talking, I was thinking, oh, it's 2023 now. I think my first DNA test was in 2013. So that's a 10-year loop.
Nice. Right.
And coming and going, yeah, I think it's all very, I don't even know the word. It's kind of like it's not neither here nor there. There's no exact time or place. I just know how I feel in the dream. While I'm not too concerned about the people not helping me, I'm panicked and everything, but I'm not really that concerned that they're not helping me. And I'm not embarrassed necessarily. I'm just overwhelmed by it all.
That's a beautiful unpacking of where you are with that. Thank you for being willing to share all of that with us. My goal with doing dream work like this is that, this is a joint process. For you, what I'm hoping is that as we open this, it actually becomes a deeper, an invitation to go even deeper with it, right? Because you've even been able to dial those emotions in more specifically. So when you're in that state, it's not that I'm looking for the people to come. It's that I'm totally overwhelmed that this is popped open and the clothing is now all over the place and I've got a big job ahead of me. So that sense of overwhelm, then it helps you kind of sift through and filter out what's not true. That's why I talk about how dreams are showing us a version of truth that we haven't fully grasped yet, right? I love that connection of the black and white and the color. The other thing that comes up in response is that the color then would represent something that's yours, right? So once it busts open, the stuff inside, now this is yours to carry. This is yours to deal with. This is your load to manage.
Well, the fact that there were so many clothes coming out of the suitcase, and one thing I remember, and now I'm thinking also, is how is this all going to fit? So how does this fit with me?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to put it all back in place?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to go back the way it was, obviously. There was no way all those clothes were going to fit back in that suitcase the way they were. So that's interesting.
That's like the leading edge now. That's what you lean into going forward. And that's the unanswered question that you get to sort of live into and figure out. Oh.
And I haven't been to Spain or Portugal, and we actually had a trip planned before COVID hit, and we had to cancel it. So I'm going to get there, and I'm going to go straight to the train bus station and see what it looks like, because I want to know what it looks like.
Dude, if it looks just like your dream, right, then somebody was pulling you there. And then it goes back to what Pam said earlier about, and then you get something from while you're there, and you bring it back.
Aren't we all now invested in Jen's story? I say this, I'm like, now I'm a cheerleader of your story. Please update us.
Will you seriously, when you go to Spain and come back, will you be on the show again? Because we'd love to get a follow-up.
Yeah, I can't wait to get there and see what I need to see and make it fit for me.
Yeah.
Jen, thank you. Jen and Pam, and the other thing to me that I got out of it was 13 generations, right? If you're somebody that has children, my thought was, oh my gosh, you are extending your existence for 13 generations. Yes. I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's immortality right there.
Things they've gone through are in your cells.
Wow. I'm going to have to sit with that and think, how much is my stuff and how much is this baggage I'm taking? SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website to find out how you can participate. You can be on the show, or you can do the one-on-one session. Like Pam said, is an extended, this was a small truncated version of what she will do with you one-on-one. Again, SweetGeorgiaPam.com. Plus, if you're having a problem remembering your dreams, you're the opposite of Jen, then there's a free guide called 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall that you can download there. Sweet Georgia Pam is on social media. DM her. Sweet Georgia Pam is her handle. And Jen is from Colorado, so thank you so much. Pam and I are in Atlanta, so wherever you are, we'll make it work, and we want you on the show. Jen, thank you so much. And Pam, thank you so much.
Oh my God, this has been so fun, Jen. Thanks for your willingness to come and let us play.
It was nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
The content in this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Pam Muller is not a licensed mental health professional. If you or someone you know suffers from severe, persistent nightmares, please seek medical help.